Come on, what are you doing? Are you getting hungry?
Across the country, there are a growing band of women called doulas who provide support and reassurance to new mothers for a small fee.
Doulas are women that are trained in helping women through childbirth in the early years of parenting. In the past, families would do the role of a doula. A mother, a sister, a cousin, somebody nearby would be around to help a woman through that and support them. But unfortunately, this is the way society is. That's broken down. People are more transient. They don't have their family around. So women find that there's a gap in what they need while they're pregnant. They need another woman. And the doula's taken over that role.
Ooh. And how are you coping with everything? Yeah, you're getting out and about.
The doula movement has been huge in the US for many, many years. In fact, it was much bigger there before it ever came to England. I also know there's a doula organisation in Portugal, there's one in Spain, and there are training courses that are going out now all over Europe. There's also doulas in Australia. There's a big doula movement there as well. And I think there's one based in Singapore somewhere too.
Doulas provide a complete package of care and assistance during pregnancy, labour and birth, and postnatally.
Generally, at least twice, I would meet the woman and the family before the birth, get to know what their hopes are, what their fears might be, get to know how their family respond to certain things, how the home might run. We'd help them with a birth plan if that's what they wanted, and then we'd support them through the labour, but regardless of how long that may be. We're not there to make any medical decisions. That's entirely the role of the midwife. We're just there to help them with support, emotional and some practical. It might even be just making tea for everybody, but we're there and we'll never ever leave them.
There is evidence to show that if a labouring woman has female support, she is more likely to birth naturally.
Less and less women have analgesia. It leads to less forceps deliveries, less caesarean sections, and more natural vaginal deliveries, and shortens deliveries by at least 2 hours.
Emma chose to have a doula at the births of her last 3 children.
She went with me to hospital appointments, or if I had bad experiences with consultants not being very supportive, she sort of made me strong again after I sort of felt like the world was collapsing, and I just knew that she would be there. And I think giving birth successfully can be a real a sort of a head thing as well as a body thing. You have to feel confident as you can feel to do it right, and having a doula there supporting me made, I think, all the difference.
Once the baby is born, the doula help extends from emotional to practical too.
Any jobs for me to do then today?
I'd go back at least twice afterwards just to admire the baby, debrief the birth, help with feeding if that's what they want, help change water in flowers, make sure she's got something to eat and drink. Anything that needs doing, we do. Other doulas that are known as postnatal doulas will concentrate on going in after the baby's born and can stay for up to 6 weeks on a daily basis or every other day. Again, just tailored around what that woman wants.
Lisa took on the services of Sasha, which she found invaluable.
More than anything, it's just sort of guidance, because I've never had a baby before. It's guidance pre-birth, not what to know what to expect. From the point of view of what you can and can't say to the hospital staff, as we delayed the birth past the 2 weeks of sort of induction. They weren't particularly happy about that, and I didn't know you could do that, and I didn't want to sort of go down the induction route, but it was one of those things that in the end I had to do for the safety of him. But at least we sort of held off for a couple more days type thing. And it's just someone to rebound questions on, and how you're feeling, and is this right? Are you supposed to be getting these niggles and that type of thing more than anything. And then afterwards as well, it's more a case of just somebody that knows a lot more than you do about what you should be experiencing more than anything.
I just thought this can only help and support my birth experience. And she was there. She gave me encouragement. She was that soft voice in my ear, always saying, "You are doing fantastic. You are, I really don't think I could have given birth naturally without my doula."
One of the things they always say is, I couldn't possibly have done that without you. Of course, we know that's rubbish. They could do it without us, because women's bodies are made to give birth, and babies know how to come down a birth canal. It's just that they feel safer and more secure and more empowered knowing that they have someone with them that's maybe been through that experience before themselves.
We're always looking for food, aren't we?
Hello.
Hiya, how are you?
I'm too good.
And it's not only the new mother who benefits from having a doula around.
Most partners say that it helps them because it means they don't feel like 100% responsible. It helps them enjoy the birth. They can just get involved as much as they want to. They don't feel pressurised to be there. And I do think sometimes partners are made to feel like they have to be there when they don't feel particularly secure about it. So when they've got somebody else with them, they can relax and enjoy it more.
Some people, I suppose, are happy having their partners do it. But I think even if their partners are there, it's nice for them to have a support as well, so it's not the onus is completely on them to support the woman. And personally, I think women support other women better than a man ever could, because a woman knows, especially a woman who's had children, knows what it's like. You know, for me anyway.
Hey. Hey, sweetie pie. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
So how much will a doula cost?
Doula UK, the organisation which has been set up by doulas to help other doulas and to help women find us, states that a trainee doula should not charge more than £150 to attend a birth. But many doulas will attend a birth for free while they're still training.
You'll be all comfy. Oh, yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
More
really love
established doulas that have been at more births and more experience will charge up to £600, and for that they would get the 2 visits beforehand, the labour and 2 visits after, and as much telephone contact as necessary and email contact. I think lots of the contact is actually beforehand, and it is by way of telephone and visits.
There. Is that better?
And for some women, Doula UK will make an exception if their needs are great and their finances are limited. There is a small hardship fund to help pay towards the doula's costs. Although it's a great privilege to be present at such a wonderful time in a woman's life, there is a downside.
Yes, being on call and not being able to go to the theatre because I can't have my mobile switched on, not being able to have a glass of wine of an evening because I know that I'm going to have to get in the car at the last moment. Just being in situations where I can't have my mobile on and strapped to my hip, anything you can think of. The cinema, I can't do the cinema while I'm on call. And I do get really fed up with that. You know, I'm only human. But as soon as the phone rings, the adrenaline kicks in and I don't think about it anymore, I'm just away.